All right, so we're going to have the final presentation is going to be by Dave Cooper, who I said is really, Dave and I work very close together. He gets the pot filled, and we take care of putting them in the right places. While Dave's coming up here, is there anyone else out there that is not signed in the roster? Anybody missing? So I can close the roster. We have one more over here. Okay. One more? Okay. One more, and that should be it. I won't ask again, hopefully. David?
Okay, everybody stand up. Up, 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 up. Stand up. Stretch. More stretching. Stretch. Okay, that's all. Sit down. All righty. So I realize I am briefing at grave personal risk. I am the last person standing between you and lunch. I take that seriously, and we will hurry. I promise you. I promise. Okay, so here's the deal with membership. It's a moving target. It's always a moving target. We got to figure out why these folks want to be members, and then how to keep them. There's two parts to membership: the initial sign up and then retention, right? So every chapter officer here has got to contagiously want to sign up new members. You have to be a vector. You have to be the guy, I need to sign you up, or gal, I need to sign you up right now. This is a good thing. You need to be part of this. Okay? What slide are we on? Oh, we want to be on the next one. Perfect. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So one of the things I want to talk about right here is, oh, it's a pen. The pen does not have a laser in it. Hold on. This works so well in rehearsal. There we go. Okay. Types of membership. That's really not the slide I want. That seems to be at the back of the pack, but that's okay. All right. So here's what I'm going to ask you to do. Here you go. There you go, right here. Identify the most influential members of your chapter. Get them to testify, right? You know what I'm talking about. You folks that go to church on Wednesdays, you know all about what it is to stand up and testify. And I'm not kidding. You know what that's about. And you know how powerful that is. That can be powerful in your chapter too. Get those influential folks to stand up at that chapter meeting and give the 30-second pitch on why they're a Quad A member and why it's important to them. I also want to talk about, why did they join? What motivated them to join and what motivated them to stay? Well, there seems to be a few things. I'm going to read these here. Some folks are staying for the scholarship, right? And something I did not hear at the scholarship presentation is that scholarship is open to siblings. That's right. So your junior enlisted soldiers who probably don't have kids of college age yet can submit their siblings in that scholarship. That's huge. Huge. They might stay for the post-employment career opportunity, social connections, or chance to volunteer. If you're in the Washington Potomac chapter, you might join for the final Friday party every month. It's very important. It's a great social event. So those are just some reasons. Now, something I do want to discuss right here is the competition. We need to know what the competition is, who they are, and how much they cost. I've done it for you. Get your pen out. You ready? Combat Helicopter Association is probably a competitor of ours. They charge $30 a year for membership. NAUGUS, great organization for sure. 1-year membership for an enlisted soldier at NAUGUS is $45 a year. For an officer, it's $59 a year. AUSA, another great organization, doing great things for the soldiers. Their membership for 2 years is $30. And finally, the Warrant Officer Association, of which I'm a life member, for 3 years, it's $84. So I think we've got them beat on price if you were just looking at price, or if they were just looking at price. But it's got to be more than that, right? It's got to be what's the value prop? Why do you need to be a member of Quad A? It's not so much about price, but it's that NRVS we've got, all those things that go along with that. Okay, slide. Okay, types of membership. And we talked about how much it costs for the individual membership. For an enlisted soldier, it is initially 62 cents per month. 62 cents per month is what it costs to be a Quad A member. You guys know about life members. We have, right now, as you're probably aware, a program where a chapter can, once a year, offer life memberships for $250. $250. We've had 163 new life members sign up this year. From January 1st to today, 163. That's awesome. That is awesome. I will tell you that that's also unfortunate because that thing is wildly successful, and we believe Quad A is losing money on it. So, Quad A, the board, over the next several months is going to look at that hard to decide if we can continue to do that or not. So I would urge chapters to have that event sooner rather than later. I would probably not plan for that event to happen in 17. You probably need to do that in 16, get that event knocked out so that your members can take full advantage of that. I do not believe this is going to be around in 17. Okay? Deployed soldiers, it's a 15-month free membership. All you got to do, click the button on the website, tell us you're deployed. It can be to Iraq, Afghanistan, Korea, Honduras. There's lots of places where you can get deployed and get that, take full advantage of the 15-month membership. Now, here's the deal. You're going to say, well, Dave, I deployed, but my deployment's only for 3 months or 6 months. That's okay. You get the full 15-month. You get the full 15-month free deployment. Now, it's up to the chapters to then turn them into dues payers, right, at some point. So we don't want to give those 15-month memberships, free memberships away, and then just have that person enjoy that and without a connection on the backside. Okay, so it's up to the chapters to learn who those people are and then, of course, make them dues payers. So how do you find out? You call Janice, you call me, you call Deb Cavallero, and we'll get you that information, get you those names and the dates on when they will expire. Community memberships. Okay, so here's the deal with community memberships. Right down there at the bottom. We have got 6 businesses on community memberships. As we discussed earlier, community membership is for the local chapter to engage with the folks that are supporting them. So engage with the donut shop, the Starbucks, the guy at the Jiffy Lube, right? The barber shop guy. Those kinds of folks in the community where members are going in and out of their offices all the time and support them. You're going to ask for their support back. So how do you find out who those people are? Urge you to get a list from the Chamber of Commerce in your area to say, hey, who's in the Chamber of Commerce? Let me start there. And you can ask them, you can get the names, the phone numbers, the contact data, or as the kids say, the digits. You can get the digits from them and start making those cold calls. But that's a great way to get community members involved in your chapter and involved in Quad A. Sir? Yeah, the pricing structure is all on the website. Don't quote me, but I believe it's a community membership is $70 per year, and for that they get 2 members, right? Because we're talking about the donut shop, the Jiffy Lube. They probably don't have 300-400 folks, right? So it's $70 per year for 2 members. Sir? I was getting support earlier from Jan. I guess oh, there he is.
The community membership. Voodoo Chapter worked with Nationals with Barbara last year, and we came up with the community membership And what we did was we've already joined our Chamber of Commerce. And we have 1,500 members in our Chamber of Commerce. And these are civilians that are in our local population in a small area. We're a small town, so to speak, of about maybe 25, 30,000 people. But these are people that want to participate and they want to contribute to our military. And they don't want to join the military. They don't want to raise their right hand. But they really want to assist. We're a National Guard unit in the community, and we're very high profile, and most of them know us. So we went ahead, Voodoo Chapter, and we signed up to be a member of the Chamber of Commerce. Right now, what we've done, there's only 6 members, and I'm not sure if they're all from Voodoo Chapter or not.
They are.
They are? Okay. And what we're doing is we've throttled back slightly on getting these members because we're trying to establish a really good core membership, core meetings where we have our president, our treasurer, our SAOs, some of the pilots, some of the sergeants majors, some of the people who've been around a long time, because those are the people that these civilians want to interact with. They have a perception of what we are. So as soon as we get our core members, because we had to find a place to meet, and we just got that, where we could find a place to meet off of campus so that we could serve alcohol, so we could serve food, so we can have a little more liberties. So we found that. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to establish this core membership of military personnel that are like mandated to show up to these meetings. Once we get that part started, what we're going to do is we're going to open up the floodgates, and then we're going to go back to the Chamber of Commerce and say, hey, you want to join? You want to come to our meetings? Because they're already asking me about it. At the Chamber of Commerce meetings, I get asked at least by a dozen people each time, hey, when are y'all going to start taking in, or how do I become a Voodoo Chapter member? So it's probably going to, if it goes well, we could probably double our membership in a year. We're at 140 members right now, but we may be able to double our membership in a year. And that was the purpose of the community membership that we kind of worked with. And if I could say one more thing about the lifetime membership, I have 2 years left to retire. I'm not a lifetime member, but I'm going to be. I'm going to sign up and take advantage of it because even though I get out of the military, I may wind up one day with grandchildren, and then those grandchildren will still be able to apply for the scholarships. So it's just something to ponder for people who are about to, well, do I stay or do I go? In the military, do I want to continue my membership? So I know it's going to hurt you guys, but I'm sorry.
Great, thanks. Was there another question? No? Okay. Slide, please. Right here, I want to talk about retaining members. And I asked the chapters to give this some consideration. Here, right down here. Think about at the 90, 60, and 30-day mark prior to the dues or the membership lapsing, contacting that member. So at 90 days, it might be an email or a postcard. At 60 days, it's probably a call from your membership VP, and at 30 days, it's probably a call from the chapter president to make sure that they know that we still love them and we want to keep them as members, and what do we need to do to get you signed up. So it's going to take some effort, going to take some work. And how do you get that data? You call Quad A National, you talk to Deb, and she can give you a breakdown for every member in your chapter on exactly when they're going to lapse. Okay, just keep up with it. Sir?
Have you guys considered, just like everything else, either per month or once a year to align membership dates? Because that's the last thing I need to do is 133 people trying to know when their expiration date is, and I could spend my whole time doing that besides my full-time job. But, September, I know my car insurance, everything all's due either my birth month or the end of the year. And it's simple, and I could just blast out to every member once a year, hit them up, and I know for a 3-month period, I'm just beating up members, just trying to do it. But to have different expiration dates across the thing, it's impossible. I'm not going to be able to do that.
So the answer is no, we haven't considered that.
Trying to simplify it.
Okay. That's something we'll give some thought to. Sir?
Ron Deemer again. Have you, along with having like a regional coordinator like we talked about earlier, maybe pushing out membership rosters? Because we have people sign up, I'm sure, online, and
They come out every month and they go right to the chapter officers.
We've never seen that report at the Great Lakes chapter. So I've emailed Deb a couple times, say, hey, who's in our chapter now?
Yeah.
But we're supposed to be receiving something?
Every month.
Okay, we are.
Okay, so we will endeavor to get Great Lakes up to speed.
Okay.
I don't know where those. Yeah, I don't know where those results are going to, but we send them out to the chapters every month.
Does it go to all the offices or just the membership?
No, it goes to the president of the chapter. Yes, sir. Gary.
Comes out to us quarterly, to the president, to the VP for membership. That's at the Tennessee Valley chapter.
Okay.
Who gets it there. And I assume that's standard.
Yeah, and we said we can get it online, but we can get that.
Yeah, we will, I guarantee you Great Lakes is going to have theirs this afternoon.
Instead of trying to coordinate with birthdays or anything like that, they used to do it, by the way, and Deb does a great job. I know it's a lot of work, and Tennessee Valley chapter is 2,000 members, so we bug her a lot. But they used to put out with that monthly list is a 30, 60, 90-day losses. That has stopped. If you could start that again, it makes my job a lot easier with 2,100 members to send 30, 60, 90-day losses out. Now, I realize we only have emails, probably everyone's in the same boat, for about 10% of those people. But that 10% makes a big difference in sustaining your membership. When we were doing it, we lost about 200 members because we lost that list. And I'll tell you where they come from, the scholarship kids. Because they have 2-year membership and then they drop. But if they get an email, they realize they can reapply for a scholarship. And they also realize it's a business network opportunity when they graduate. That's where you get them from. And that's part of the sustainment.
As we're waiting for the next question, can we go to the next slide, please? Sir.
I'm going to take advantage of Chris's comments. Glenn Monrad, Mid-Atlantic. So here's a question back to National. Is there a postage-free mark that we might be able to follow up with postcards? I know that email, I get a poor turnover ratio of reminders and people reading it. And so as a not-for-profit, do we have one of those not-for-profit, franking marks that we can use? And I can't afford 49 cents a postcard to send I love you notes to everybody. But if there was a different way, I could publish the postcards if I had a cheaper way to mail.
I'll absolutely look into that.
You guys send that out for people's, National sends out one for people's memberships that are going to expire.
Yes. So thank you. So at the 30, 60, 90-day mark, National is sending out our own postcards. But I'm asking the chapters to back that up with more personal communication. But I will look into that postmark, see if that works. That's a great question. Thank you. Yes, sir.
I might be getting ahead of you, but I'll ask the question up front on the one-time annual life memberships for $250. How do we do that? Is that a hard copy analog thing? I mean, we can't expect folks to go online and get that at the 1-year deal, can we?
Yeah, that's a great point. So when your chapter is deciding to have this $250 lifetime membership event once a year, call Quad A and we send you those forms, the special forms. So just give us a call and we'll get that form out to you. So it's not to be confused with anything else. Okay? Slide, please. Oh, you changed it on me? All right, good. Yeah, there's really not much I want to talk about on that slide. It's all on there. It's in your books. Let's go, final slide. Should be the contact data. Thank you. Okay. So I want to make a couple other points before I get off the stage. First, I will tell you that chapters that are successful have a vice president of social media. Chapters that are successful have a vice president of social media. And that person is all about the net, getting that stuff out there on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, whatever, LinkedIn, whatever you guys use. And that makes those chapters very, very successful with membership. I want to talk about the magazine for just a moment. The Quad A magazine is your magazine. I've gotten comments over the last year that maybe the magazine right now is too industry-focused, industry-centric. I'm not sure I can argue with that. Rarely do we have an article in there about Joe or Jane, or from Joe or from Jane, right? We got them from a lot of folks. So I'm asking for, and I talked to the editor, it's Joe Pisano is the editor. You know him as the voice of God at all these Quad A events. So the VOG says that we don't get any articles from the field. We also don't get any letters to the editor. So if you have got an issue with one article in there, we don't hear from you. So we're asking for letters to the editor and articles from the field. It can be on aviation, it can be on leadership, it can be on National Guard ops, whatever you want it to be on, send it in. Make sure it gets vetted with the chain of command for sure, and your public affairs officer. But send those in, and we'll make sure we can get them into the magazine. At the back of your book, I've included the membership quick reference guide. This should give you all the ideas you need to put a marketing plan together and put a membership plan together at your local chapter.
One of the things I did back in the membership, there ought to be some kind of reward if Joe or Jane decides to send in an article. We may want to go ahead and reward them with like a membership or something like that. If we publish the article, we would reward them with that also. One other thing that we've done in our chapter for back to the membership in the magazine, first of all, I think the magazine doesn't get as much credit as it should get for the great articles it does have now. I think it is pretty close to that, but we are missing the low end from the sergeants, crew chiefs, loadmasters, and so forth. We're missing those articles that gives them issues that we're addressing in Afghanistan or Iraq right now with aviation, some things like new ideas. The other one too is in the air assault chapter, we kind of challenge the commanders if they'll come up with 50 new memberships, we'll give $1,000 to their more to their organizational day or to their formals or whatever else. And I've had a couple of sergeant majors already take me up on that, said we're going to get that $1,000. So there's other ways to kind of motivate and get those, and they all are all competitive, of course, but they do love to get that additional money for their formals and functional parties or battalion parties.
Okay, thank you. So I just want to review the bidding. These are the things I've got to do. We need to start the 30, 60, 90 program again at National to get those out there. I got to get my communication squared away to Great Lakes. We got to figure that out. I don't know what the problem is there, but we will. And I will look into free membership for submitted articles as well as the postmark for chapters to put those postcards out. Okay, that's all I have except for the membership booth volunteer schedule. I've got some openings. Love to have you on it. And I know what you're thinking, Dave, why would I do that? Well, obviously for the love of the organization, you want to put your name on there for an hour, but you'd also get the handy-dandy teal blue Quad A shirt as part of the membership team. I ain't saying, I'm just saying it's a damn cool shirt. They come in men's, large, and extra large. So I've got my volunteer schedule here. I'll be in the back of the room. I'm sure there's going to be a line. Folks want to sign up, so make sure you get to the front of it. Thank you.
All right. We kind of scheduled the last 15 minutes here, so just to kind of close out this phase of where we're going. But let me tell you what we're going to do here at 11:30. as you go out the doors at 11:30, the room will be ready. We're going to have the luncheon. During the luncheon, it'll be a sit-down luncheon. During the luncheon, we find an appropriate time where people aren't eating. I will ask some of the chapters, I pre-asked some of the larger chapters to give a 5-10-minute thing on their chapters, what works, what doesn't. Anybody else wants to talk during that time, that's great. We're also going to be rolling out a new program, and I don't want to steal the thunder, but basically we've got an activity that we're working with for they're homeless or working with people, veterans that need lodging and improvements, and Bill May, I don't think Bill's in here, but he's going to be briefing that out there, and we're putting this together with Stanley Tools, and that's going to be a piece that's going to be available for all chapters to use, so I'll let he'll be talking about that during that. So we're going to be doing that. A couple other things. Can I get a show of hands in the room here? Who is on the National Executive Group? That's senior chapters and above. Do we have any presidents that did not go to the senior executive group on Tuesday? Well, I know there's one, but he's different. All right, just so you know, we're going to have shirts that we're going to put on the tables here. They'll be either black or white, take your pick. Hopefully we have everybody's size. If we do not, you take one, it's going to be one, black or white, but if for some reason we just don't have your size, please see Barbara or myself after, and we will take care of that. Anybody that is the National Executive Group, and Hawk, I do have yours already put aside, or they should have one in the office put aside, but if you didn't get it at the board meeting, it actually has National Executive Group on the shirt. So don't pick one of these if you were supposed to be at the board meeting, because we'll have that shirt for you. It's the same shirt, it just says National Executive Group on it. So that's what we've got on that. All right, so first question I had is, has this been beneficial to folks? And do we do it next year? Yes. Okay. And a show of hands, how many people here took advantage of Quad A sending you here or putting some financial support? So we got so most people took advantage of that. And like I said, well, we just those that are in the meeting here, we only had one per chapter funded, and we did the comp rooms, which was very difficult because next year when this goes back to the Gaylord, everything's together. This has been a nightmare, when you're in a new place trying to get it. So we're going to do that. Hopefully we'll get the feedback. We'll try to do that. Yes, sir.
Can I make one suggestion to add
Sure.
to the agenda for next year? I'd like to see best practices. I'm sure out here everybody's got a great thing that ought to be shared. I think we ought to have an opportunity to share with everybody else things that work right and things that don't work right.
Dave, would you mind, since Barbara's not here, could you take a couple of those notes? Would you mind? Thank you, sir. All right, so you want to do a best practices in which way? From the chapters?
Yeah, from the chapters.
Okay.
There are guys that make social media work. I don't.
All right, and we're that. Just so you know, that phase is going to be done during the luncheon. That was what I was referring to. I've picked out certain chapters that do that well. So we're going to do it more informally, but we will look at your recommendation next year during the chapters themselves too. So we're going to do that. We've hit, like I said, all the different areas. Just like I said, we have another 10, 15 minutes to do in here. So is there any other suggestions out there, positive, negative, any topics on the table? If I can't answer it, I will get one of my counterparts that will. Just a few things that I did see, just to make sure that everyone cleared on the Soldier of the Month, Soldier of the Quarter, NCO. That also means of the month. It can be DAC, it can be Member of the Month. It can be whatever you want it to be, but if it's an of the month or of the quarter program, those are programs for the chapter. The money that goes to chapters, like I said, you can request money for the chapters. Don't be afraid of the amount. We try to limit it at $5,000 period per chapter. That's at the bigger pieces. But we look at it, you write, like anything else, you write the right justification. Some people put in one, some people put two or three. Ask for it. The process is, the way it works, it goes to Barbara. It goes over to General Crosby. He convenes the board, which is really the four main people. The three VPs don't vote. We understand, we know what's going on, but the four vote, and he puts this together in a matter of days. So we get this thing approved very quickly for you. And then in the, as I mentioned before, that was mentioned by Crosby also, was that we have an after-action review. It's a simple thing. Don't write a book. We just want to know what you did. Was Quad A recognized? How many people showed up? Pretty simple. Don't write a book. It's just to try to get so we can understand what's going on. Yes, sir.
I think maybe for next year,
Can I get a mic? Barbara, can you?
yeah, for next year, maybe like last year I was voted into my position a week prior to the summit. So I came to the summit, really didn't know what was going on. This year I have a little bit more, a better idea. However, what events should the chapter officers go to? What should they participate in? Like vice president for scholarships. Should I go to the scholarship luncheon? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. So maybe a best practices, lessons learned. Here are the things you should attend as a chapter officer. Here are the things that would benefit you. This thing definitely benefits me, but the Hall of Fame dinner, those types of things, I don't know.
All right, and again, we obviously tonight all the receptions, that's a must. So make sure you're there. Let's get our priorities straight, we're aviators. So we've got that, and we will talk to that. That's probably a good point. That I'm pretty sure that the scholarship luncheon, all that's you're invited to. So you would think that'd be the VP of scholarships for sure, and the president. But we will kind of put together a recommended list. Also a recommended. Something was confusing whether you get dressed up or you don't, and so forth. I think everybody is comfortable with what they're wearing today, but we'll do that. Did you send that out for scholarships?
All scholarship VPs are invited to one scholarship award meeting that normally happens prior to the luncheon. We also invited to the lunch. Everything scholarship related, you're invited to attend. I sent out an email and then sent everybody being invited to attend the board meeting so you participate in the board meeting, hear what's going on, and actually bring about change. But you're invited to attend in all of those.
and I assume that, so I didn't do it, but I assume that we are invited. Just a
Right.
top two. The other thing is about the emails. I know we talked about how emails are what forward it communicate now, but every single email you get from Quad A is Quad A. It doesn't say, it's very confusing, so you have to read, I got 1,000 emails about the summit, and I had to shift through those about whether it's Barb or Deb or you, sir. So I don't know if we can adjust the
Title.
naming of
Okay.
it, but everything says Quad. It
All right.
doesn't say, who it is exactly.
That may be a good point. We have a lot of automated things. So, and I asked Bill. I guess she must have been tied up, but hopefully I can get Jen. Maybe we can still get her for the luncheon, Barbara. I've asked her to try to show. Okay, but if you do, maybe we can get her in the luncheon, and she can talk a little bit more about, because we did have some communications questions that I didn't have the answer to. Anybody else have anything generic? Dave?
I went to the Quad A's website looking for community number information, and the only way I found it was under frequently asked questions. There's a link for industry membership. You click on it, it gives you the all links to where you need to do that. But to find the community stuff, like I said, that is a link under frequently asked questions, and you put on there and it says, what is the community member, how do you become a community member? So if we're pushing the community membership, maybe it ought to be moved up as a separate link.
Yeah, Dave, and we have talked about that. So I hope I can get Jen into the meeting, because we have talked about that. Some of the, even for myself, who I think is not challenged to go through, it's confusing sometimes on the website to load down to where you want to go. It's there, but I can't always find it. So, but any feedback, like I said, if you have specific feedback where you can't do it, just send us emails and we can we do actually open our emails. We really do. So we don't seem to have a problem coming in. I don't know what the problem is, but we do open them. So, but get a hold of me or everybody. I left my card on the table. My wife says you can call anytime. I won't always answer, but just, anything you need there, email, voicemail, text, I can get you to the right folks. So we can kind of do that. Any other specific questions? Barbara, you have anything to? Okay, all right. But do you have anything else that you might want to address? Okay.
Mr. Cooper gave me permission to do this. Barbara, will you come up? Yes, Miss Barbara. She is the reason that our chapter is rising out of the ashes. She is the reason that we are trying to figure out the information. And like all of you, we struggle to get all the information sorted out. So we call Barbara, and she sorts it out for us. Yeah, absolutely. Come here, Barbara. So on behalf of our chapter, we're the Flying Tiger chapter. We're located at Fort Knox. We're USAR. And we've recently, with her help, been able to figure out so many of the programs and so many of the items. And we wanted an opportunity. So if you'll indulge us for just a second, on behalf of our soldiers, your commitment, dedication, and helping the soldiers and the Quad A chapter reflect great credit upon yourself. It's appreciated by all of our soldiers and all of our families, and we wanted to say thank you on behalf of the battalion, on behalf of the chapter. We wanted to say thank you to Miss Barbara. So will you give her a round of applause, please?
She's also getting the coveted Flying Tiger coin.
That brought me to the last thing is, all right, so as I told everybody in the beginning of our meeting, we're really trying to make awards at the chapter level important. And we tried that new process this year, which I think the 4 chapters that were selected were truly done the right way. And Renee, you are here, so maybe I can redo that with you after the meeting here. But we are trying to do that. So, but what we've done in the past is the chapter of the year gets $1,000 that we've put toward the scholarship fund. That may be the right thing. It may not. It may need to be something different. But if you have ideas that we usually give you the horse blanket, which is the blue piece that you put over the table, the banner, and then we do something for the chapter. But if you have better ideas, if there's something that's more important, I thought about, maybe issuing each chapter a set of coins or something for their chapter to give out or something. But if you have ideas of what would make it better for you to receive that award that you can share with your membership better, let me know, because we're looking for ideas. We have this year to figure it out. And again, we're constantly rebirthing what we're trying to do. And as I told you, that we're growing. So if you have any ideas, and I showed you the statistics, over 2/3 of the chapters are in a growth mode. The 1/3 that aren't are the ones that are bringing down the organization. And Dave can contest to that, where we're losing the members. So we're going to try to take that 1/3 and figure out how we can turn them around. But I don't want to have a story next year to say the 2/3 that are going went the other direction. So what you guys are all doing, and gals, is really super. So we're trying to do that. So yes, I have another question?
No, I do have to ask a question for an idea for our board members. $25, and there's a little bit of pride to it, and they'll be wearing it at the concert. But just a shirt, a nice shirt.
Okay. All right, well, that's a good idea. And that's the kind of stuff we're looking at for some feedback. What we did want to recognize, at least the representatives from the chapter, that's why we did do some stuff with vanilla chapters. Next year, we got sizes. And I'm going to tell you, if you've never coordinated one of these things, poor Barbara. Barbara works for me and works for Bill at the same time. And I don't know how that's a wig she's wearing, by the way, because, she looks like me and Dave, without all that hair. She's lost it. So it's a good wig, though, right? So, but we're trying to do that. But, a lot of those things when we try to do like that, which are great ideas, we got to get the feedback back so we can get the correct sizes and the orders and all that stuff. So we'll try to do something ahead of time. This thing was pulled off in the last 3 or 4 months, and we're just tickled that I think 90% of the people signed up, came. So that's fantastic. And those that didn't come and signed up and showed up at the room, they're in trouble. So if they're out someplace. But any other? I get room for one more question. We're going to continue in the other room, so don't be shy when we get in there. Does anyone else have one more burning desire they want to discuss? Anybody?